Hello and welcome to this video on the IELTS test. I'm Preetinder Kaur for Perfect Scores. This is our Facebook, email and website address. So in this video, we are going to continue what we started in the last video, which is the structure of the test in detail. And so far we've done the listening section. Now it's time to know about the reading section in detail. So the reading section, as I told in the introductory video, is taken in two different formats. So you know that IELTS can be either taken in the academic format, which is for people who want to go on a study visa, and it can also be taken in a general format, which is for people who want to go on a migrant visa, for example, a work visa or any other kind of non-student visa. Now in both of them, the total number of questions is same. There are approximately 40 questions. That means it can vary from about 39 to 41, and the total time given is 60 minutes. Now, one point important is that unlike in the listening section where you get 10 minutes extra at the end to transfer the answers to your answer sheet, you don't get any extra time in the reading section. So within these 60 minutes, you have to read whatever is given, answer all the questions, and put the answers on the answer sheet. So both of these two formats, the academic and the general, they have three different parts. So let's study what part 1, part 2 and part 3 comprise of in the academic section. Now under this academic format, part 1 will contain one passage and it will have approximately 13 questions. Part 2 will contain one passage, one long passage that will have 13 questions. Part 3 will contain one passage that will have 13 questions again. Now the passages, they are not of the same difficulty level. Usually the first one is the easiest and the last one is the hardest. So instead of dividing these 60 minutes into 20, 20, 20, I always recommend students to give 15 minutes to the first passage in total, 20 minutes to the second one in total, including transferring the answers to the answer sheet, and 25 minutes to the last one because it's the tougher one. So this will take care of the level of difficulty. You can give extra time to the harder questions as well. Coming to the general test, part 1 will have 2 to 3 short texts. Very simple text, for example, an advertisement, and a total of 13 questions. Part 2 will have 2 texts. They will not be as short as the first part was. And again, a total of 13 questions. Part 3 will have one passage, one long passage, and again 13 questions. Now, the first part, again in general, is the easiest, and again you should be able to do that in 15 minutes. The second part is of a medium level of difficulty, total 20 minutes, and the third one, total 25 minutes. Now, no one in the test is going to tell you how do you, mark this time. You can spend all 60 minutes on one passage also. It's up to you. So this is just a rough marking that I'm giving you just as a suggestion. So you can try this whenever you take a practice test and see for yourself if it works or not. And there's no order in which you need to do these passages. You can do them in any order, but just remember to transfer the answers properly after looking at the question number for which you are putting in the answer. You can also start from the last passage if you think that you should do the tough questions first. And then you can go to the first one. So total of 40 questions and you have 60 minutes. Each question is worth 1 mark. There is no negative marking. Spellings are very important, just like in the listening section, and your handwriting should be very clear. And spellings are very, very important in reading because you need to put in the answers that are already given in the text. So there's no excuse that works here that you did not know the spelling of a particular word, because all the words will be taken from the text itself. And you are given no extra transfer time, so this is all the time that you have. So that was about the reading test. Let's go to the next section, which is the writing test. Now, just like the reading section, the writing section is also different in these two formats. So you have the academic format and then you have the general format. Now the writing section for both of these formats is divided into two tasks. Task 1, for which you have to write not less than 150 words. And then there is the other one, which is task 2, in which you have to write not less than 250 words. So those are the word limits. And the total time that is given is 60 minutes for the writing section. And how these 60 minutes are to be divided? You give 20 minutes to task 1, including the revision, the planning, the organization, and the actual writing, and 40 minutes. It's a paper-based test, so your handwriting should be good. It should be neat. Don't write too big or too small because the answer sheets may be scanned and then printed out. So take care of that, the quality might get lost if the scanning takes place. So be very, very clear. And if you think that your natural handwriting is very bad and it's not readable, try to write everything in capital case. Alright, so coming to what actually happens in these tasks. In the academic, task 1, you will either be given a graph, like a bar graph or a pie chart, or you can be given a table, you can be given a map, a diagram, a flow chart. So you'll be given some kind of information in this format and you need to explain that without giving your own views. So whatever is shown to you in the diagram or the picture that is given, you just explain that in 150 words. Coming to the general task, in task 1, you are given a topic and you have to write a letter. Now the letter can either be formal or it can be informal. And in later videos, when you go to the videos in the writing section, we'll be discussing each format in detail. Task 1 is this, the graph or the chart for the academic students and the letter for the general students, total 150 plus words in 20 minutes. And you cannot exceed the writing space. The writing space is limited, so you have to be careful as to the size of your handwriting and the number of words. Coming to task 2, for both academic and general, task 2 is always an essay. And the topics differ, but they're very general topics and you should easily be able to write the essay properly in 40 minutes. Now, out of the scoring, you remember that the IELTS test has 4 different sections and each section is worth 9 bands. So how this is divided is, for task 1, you are given 1/3 of the score. That means task 1, whatever you score is worth 3 out of 9, and task 2 is worth 6 out of 9. And 2 different examiners will be testing and then the average will be taken. So task 2 is worth double the marks than you get in task 1. So this is about the writing section, the structure. And after this, we'll be doing a video that will discuss the speaking structure in detail. Thank you so much for watching this video.